When the police get behind me, don't panic. Just tell you don't know me and my name's Sandy. Circle so small, yeah, I hang with a few. Bitch, breath stinks, so I get rid of boo. This shit you gotta learn in these streets. If you beefing, better ride with the heat.
I fed a homeless dude, got him and his friend's son a drink, bought him some food.
I just remember the screaming, her yelling, the knife is dead, it's dead, it's dead, and it just keeps playing over and over and over in my head.
Because she did not deserve this, to be shot in the head and left in the cold and left to die.
Her mother, Nyrisha Dawson, now mourning her little girl, mourning the future that was stolen from her.
She still had a whole life ahead of her. She's been saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy."
And they do need to find justice for her, because it's not fair for her child to grow up and not have justice. When she grow up, she's gonna have questions, and we need to have answers for her.
Right now, they're still left with those questions.
We need someone to speak out. Think about it as if it was your family member, your daughter, your sister, your brother, your auntie, your uncle, someone that you love. Think about that.
"20-year-old Lanaya Dawson, affectionately known as Naya to those who loved her, was the kind of person who lit up every room she entered. With an infectious smile and an ever-present sense of humor, she kept everyone around her laughing and full of joy. Described as a vibrant and caring soul, Naya was more than just a friend. She was a devoted daughter, a loving mother to her 1-year-old daughter, and a big sister who always looked out for her loved ones. Her energy was magnetic, and she had a zest for life that was impossible to ignore. In addition to being a beacon of positivity, Naya was an aspiring rapper, performing under the name Naya Jordan. Her first track, Up Next, was gaining momentum in her local community.
Really from the 5, but I be up the way. Really from the 5, but I be in the 4. Really from the 5, and I be in the 8. When I pop outside, niggas know I don't play. Man, I ain't take her out on no date. I ain't got time if it ain't about pay. My judge just called tryna wake and bake. Time to go on the road and smack me a plate. I sell anything I get my hands on. Give me the dope, I build a dope phone. It ain't to extend your zone. The purpose in his ass home. I made 50 off of iPhone. Just got the pack in, tryna get it go. If I ain't made no money, I ain't going home. Just hating on her when she on your block get hectic. My niggas been in, they ready for second.
But beyond her ambitions, she was someone who thrived on connection. Her family and friends were her everything. Naya's life, full of potential and dreams, would change in the blink of an eye, leaving those who knew and loved her with an unimaginable sense of loss. Just after midnight on December 7th, 2024, police were called to a distressing scene in Mount Airy Forest, Cincinnati's largest park, following reports of an unresponsive person lying in the roadway along the 4900 block of Trail Ridge Road. When officers arrived and approached the scene, they discovered the lifeless body of an adult female, her condition gravely concerning. As authorities began to assess the situation, they immediately recognized the urgency of the case, initiating a thorough investigation to determine the circumstances of the tragic discovery.
Lying on the road in the middle of Mount Airy Forest, police responded to a call for an unresponsive body in the park at about 12:30 Saturday morning.
The victim was identified as 20-year-old Lanaya Dawson, who tragically was pronounced dead at the scene after suffering a gunshot wound. Police found 8 9mm shell casings and blood at the location where Lanaya's body was discovered, leading investigators to believe she may have been killed at the scene rather than having her body dumped there. The area where she was found, a section of Trail Ridge Road in Mount Airy Forest, is secluded and closed to vehicle traffic, though pedestrians can still access it. This raised further questions about how and why she was in such an isolated area at that time of night. According to Lanaya's mother, she had exchanged text messages with her daughter just hours before learning of the devastating news. The family, understandably shaken by the tragedy, chose not to comment further, citing the immense stress the situation has caused. Coincidentally, The same day Lania's body was discovered, she was scheduled to appear in court for a misdemeanor theft charge related to merchandise from a local Walmart. As the investigation continues, numerous questions remain unanswered. Who could have done this to her and why? Was it a personal dispute with a jealous friend or lover? What was she doing out in the park so late, and who was she with? Could her cell phone provide any clues as to who she might have been meeting that night? Is law enforcement withholding key information to protect the integrity of the investigation? This marks the 69th homicide in Cincinnati, forming, according to the Cincinnati Police Department, a tragic number that is 2 more than the same time in the previous year. As the city grapples with yet another senseless loss of life, family and friends are left searching for answers, hoping for justice, and struggling to make sense of a crime that has shattered their lives.
She kept us laughing all the time, and I would do anything in the world for her.
Grief weighs heavy on the family of Lania Dawson.
It's just too much.
Just before 12:30 Saturday morning, Lania's body was discovered on Trail Ridge Road in the Mount Airy Forest. Cincinnati police say she was shot and killed, the person who pulled the trigger taking off.
On the day Lania's body was discovered, friends and family gathered near the parking lot of Walnut Hills High School to honor her memory and celebrate the life she lived. In a heartfelt tribute, they arranged candles in the shape of her initials and released balloons, a symbol of love and remembrance. Surrounded by friends who cherished her and family who had lost so much, they offered prayers, hoping for justice and for the person responsible for her tragic death to be found.
She was the life of the party. She was very fun, outgoing. You can always call her and she'll be there for you.
Family and friends huddled in the parking lot near Walnut Hills High School to remember the young mother of a 1-year-old daughter. They spelled out her initials in candles and said prayers that the person responsible for her death would be found.
At this point right now, we just need prayers, we need answers, we need everything that we need in order to, move forward and have peace in our heart, because I just don't think that she deserved nothing that has happened to her today.
Nyresha Dawson says she was texting with her daughter just hours before she found out what had happened.
That's what's so weird to me, because it's like, dang, if I knew that her life was in danger in any type of way, she already knows she can call on any of us and we all be there for her.
After some words of encouragement said at the gathering, the group simultaneously released the balloons that they had brought to remember Nia.
This is not real to me. I can't even believe that I'm standing here talking to you about this right now with all these people behind us, and it's sad. She was a young lady. She didn't deserve that.
On December 20th, 2024, 20-year-old Lania Dawson was laid to rest in a heartfelt funeral service in Cincinnati, Ohio, surrounded by family and friends who came to honor her life. The ceremony was filled with a mix of emotions, laughter as they shared fond memories, and tears as they grappled with the devastating loss of a young woman with so much potential. Loved ones gathered to celebrate her spirit, cherishing the moments they had with her. As of now, there have been no arrests in the case, and both law enforcement and Lania's family and friends are urging anyone with information to come forward. The community remains hopeful that the truth will emerge and that justice will be served.